everybody. We're starting Pranic Process Online Day 6.
Recording in progress.
Really happy to be here with you and to stream from this beautiful city that I'm in. Today in Romania we also celebrate the Ascension Day, which is very beautiful because it's all about celebrating the manifestation of the body of light, the manifestation of the Christed body. So it's very, very important, very, very deep, the significance of this holiday. And I'm happy to stream it from here because we're downloading these light codes also for the city that we're in. Ascension is not really deeply understood by all people. We imagine that when we ascend, we basically leave our body and we never come back to it. So it's like it is seen as a disconnection from the physical plane, as if you leave it and never come back to it. But why am I saying it's misunderstood? It's because it's the exact opposite of leaving the physical plane. Especially these days, Ascension is all about manifesting your presence into the physical plane, but in a higher vibration. And if you look at what Christ has shown us, and also Babaji, yogi master from the Himalayas, they have shown us that there is a possibility for you to ascend into a high vibration, into a very high state of consciousness, and yet preserve your physical appearance in a youthful demeanor for as long as you want or need. So you don't disappear from the physical plane. Quite the opposite. You manifest yourself into the physical plane into a higher vibration with the ability to decompose and recompose your body, with the ability to manifest your body in multiple places at the same time, and with the ability to heal and harmonize the fields around you just by your presence, because your presence is higher and is completely immersed in light, yet present in the physical plane. So it's an ascension, but also a descension of your light into the physicality. And there's this story of the Christ, which we celebrate today, that has been known to be crucified, and basically he was thought to be dead and he was buried. And then Mary Magdalene went to his tomb and couldn't find his body. Therefore she concluded that he must have been kidnapped or moved somewhere. And someone appeared to her, which seemed to be a stranger, but he said to her that he is the Christ. And initially she couldn't recognize him, but eventually she was able to see or feel that he is the one that she has known, only that his vibration was so high that she couldn't recognize him imbued in so much light. You know, he was having the same features, but his light was so bright that she didn't realize it's him. And it was just after him having ascended his physical cells into a higher vibration. So when she wanted to touch him, he said, "Don't touch me yet, because I am not yet ready, or I haven't finished transforming my physical body." That was the message that he has conveyed to her, and he has sent her out to tell the disciples about it, and of course they didn't believe. But that was the message, that was the intention and the essence of that event, to show that, look, there is a possibility that I transcend death, I transcend suffering, I transcend any pain that I must have had, and I imbue myself in such great light that my body is completely transformed and resurrected from death to complete aliveness. That's what he manifested in that situation, and that's what he's shown us to be possible for eternity. So that's a long time message, and that's when he basically shifted the timeline of Earth and shown us and reinstalled here on Earth the possibility that we live in that state. Because beforehand there was this deep belief in mortality, in the fact that the body has to decay and die, and especially if it has been wounded, it has to decompose and die for the soul to ascend in a higher vibration. Right now, with this example, he's shown that, wait, you don't have to immerse your body into the ground and let it decompose for your soul to be able to ascend. You might as well immerse your body into the light and let it regenerate its cells and recompose its youthful appearance, and you can ascend into a higher state in that way. So, just a different perspective of looking at ascension, right? And all spiritual traditions, including Christianity, but Buddhism and Tibetan, certain Tibetan tantric lineages and the Hindu religion and so on, have told us that we can only ascend into a higher vibration or a higher state of consciousness when we leave our body. And that's the deepest misunderstanding, I believe, on this planet, because Babaji, the immortal master of the Himalayas, and Christ and many others have come to show us, no, you can actually have your physical body, preserve it for as long as possible, and be in an ascended state of consciousness still. You don't have to discard it somewhere. You don't have to drop it like a used coat. You can still keep it and be in your highest vibration. So that's a powerful message. That's something to comprehend at a much deeper level than most people do. And that's the Pranic consciousness message. So obviously very few people got it. That's why many see Christ still being on a cross and being in suffering. That's the image of Christ that people have. And it's a false image. It's not the reality that he has presented to us. It's not what he has come to show as being possible. And so it is time maybe for us to reframe our belief and reframe our way of seeing things so that we can perceive the truth in his message. And with that, I state that this is not a religious class. It is not a webinar about Christianity at all. For me, talking about Christ is not a religion, and Christ was not religious, and he was not a Christian. Christianity has appeared after him. So basically, we are talking about ascended masters here. We are talking about spiritual science, if you will, where we can actually discover, if researched, how our bodies can be preserved in a high vibrational state for many, many years, much more than we are used to right now. For example, in the Tibetan tradition, there's the tradition of the body of light or rainbow body, where the masters that are mastering it are able to be in that state where they literally decompose or dematerialize, better said, they dematerialize their physical bodies in the moment of departure. When they choose to leave their bodies, they also dematerialize them. So there's nothing left behind them. So that's the sign of having completed the cycle of reincarnation, because when you don't leave an imprint here that has a cellular memory and is reconnecting back into the earth, and so you're not decomposing part of you back into the earth, then you don't have to come back on earth. I'm going to just repeat this because that's important. When you no longer decompose a part of you back into the earth, you don't have to come back on earth. I hope everybody gets that. When you don't decompose yourself back into the earth, you don't have to come back on earth. Why? Because there's no longer a resonance that pulls you back here on this planet. Your elements and everything you're made of are completely transcended into a higher vibration, into a different state. So you no longer have to come back to recover or install that process of resonance. You are free. So that's very different than what humans do right now. And that's in the Tibetan tradition. Then in the yogi tradition, the same tradition of the manifesting the light body or the body of light has been shown to us by Babaji, a master of the yoga branch called Kriya Yoga, that has shown himself to have preserved his physical body in a youthful demeanor for a long time. And he has had the same appearance for thousands of years of a young man of 25 years of age. And he has appeared to disciples and appeared to many people that have seen him during these years with the same appearance, to show that he has preserved his physical body and he's capable to materialize, dematerialize it, keep it into light, or dissolve it completely if he chose to. So that's a very deep insight to have, right? And with that, we're taking just a brief pause, and we invite you to type your questions or comments if you have any, because you can take a lot of juice from this webinar. And for those of you who are new to this is the Pranic process online. We are doing it for 10 years now, since 2013. It has 8 webinars. You can watch them from live when we are live, or you can watch it in recording, in video version from the comfort of your home. The description of this class is in the link in the comments on Facebook. And we are only going to be live on Facebook for a few more minutes. And after that, we are only talking to our participants that are already subscribed to the class, where, having a meditation and some deeper insights for the ones that have already confirmed participation for the whole class. So if you want to be in it, just type yes in the comments or read the description of the video. I'm also going to place the link in the description of in the comments on Facebook, and you can participate in the whole thing, or just the webinar of today. If you're interested in that, you can just participate in the webinar of today, and then you see how you feel about it, and maybe decide to join the whole class or not, depending on how you feel. So type yes in the comments if you want to be in the whole class. We're taking a short break, and we're coming back right after it with some more insights, and then we're withdrawing from Facebook and preparing for the meditation on Zoom. Thank you for being here. Okay, we're back. So if there's any questions, we're still taking questions for a few moments. We are very happy to have presented this reality to you. You know, it's something that not many people talk about. It is considered a bit far-fetched. It's very far out from what we are used to in general. And so right now, we're just presenting you a different perspective, but not a new perspective, because it has been presented to us for a long, long time, and shown by many, many masters. You know, the Tibetan masters that I told you about with the rainbow body or the body of light, the Christed example, the example of Babaji, and many, many other yogis that we don't even know the names of, that are doing the same thing as a practice, you know, as a daily practice. In the Tibetan and yogi tradition, there's also the practice of being able to imbue your body with so much light that you can dematerialize it, rematerialize it, bilocate it, teleport it, and eventually when they choose to leave their bodies, the Tibetan or yogi masters can choose to either dematerialize their body completely or shrink it to the size of a small baby or a very, very small dry mummy in a baby shape, if you will, that their disciples can preserve as a proof of their enlightenment, as a proof of their ascension, as a proof of them having attained that feature of having full control, full immersion upon their physical body, and as a proof of them being liberated or having been completely freed from this reincarnation cycle here on earth. Because when they're able to control or master physical matter and their physicality, their own body, in that way, they're also able to be free, you know, from incarnating, because that's the ultimate test for a master in general. The ultimate test or quest is to master matter and to master your own physical matter, not just materialize things and, you know, manifest jewels and stones like many yogis do, but to master your own body. It's the ultimate alchemy. Of course, that comes when you master your mind and your emotions. You can only master your body fully when you master your mind and your emotions, because there's the mind over matter principle, right? That helps you basically have full control or full dominion upon your own material aspect. And with that, of course, you master your own wealth, you master any manifestation that you want to master everything. That's the main idea, that's the main topic of the webinar of the day, and that's the main topic of pranic consciousness in general, because when you master matter in that way, it's no longer important if you eat or don't eat. We can get there by mastering our digestive fire and our digestive organs, and of course it is necessary that we are free from hunger, I would say. So pranic living, or the ability to live without food and sometimes without liquids, it's just a precursory. It's not the end of the road, not the end of the road at all. It's just a precursory to this state where you completely master the matter, and you no longer age, you no longer decay, and you no longer die or leave your body, unless you choose to, just because you have completed everything here on earth. And there's a story, because I told you in the other webinars, each webinar is overlooked or supported by an ascended master, and we basically are held in his presence, and we are guided, and he's channeling or many other beings of light are channeling this information. And this specific topic of today is held in the presence of Babaji, the ascended master of the Himalayas, the yogi of the Himalayas, who has had this powerful has been this powerful example of alchemy here on earth, with alchemizing his own body to the extent where he could preserve his youth for so many thousands of years, and his health and his physical life, if you will, for so many thousands of years. And also the Christ, of course, has big contribution, because they're part of the same consciousness or the same ray, if you will. And in the yogi tradition of Kriya, you often see them as part of the same lineage of yogis, and everybody's asking themselves, why is the Christ photographed in a lineage of yogi? What's he's doing there? Because people think he's only lived in Israel, but actually he has been in yoga, in yogic trainings in Tibet and India, and also has participated to initiations in Egypt and many other countries. But not only he has participated to these initiations, but he has also initiated those people, because his consciousness, maybe his practice wasn't so well trained, but his consciousness was usually much higher than the teachers that he would meet. So some teachers would accept and embrace him, and others, especially the priests, would very much reject him for telling them out of this, taking them out of their limited paradigms, where they implied that a priest or a medium is necessary for people to connect to source, where Christ was always telling that through your own practice and through your own innate divine nature, you can connect to source, you can talk to God, you can receive messages, and everything of you is part of the divine. So that was a message that was not well received by certain teachers or priests, and therefore he has been often shunned in certain traditions, but he has also at times been well received. It depended on who he met. But he has, of course, traveled and learned from many other traditions, not just the one in Israel. That's important to know. So this is the support that we're having in this class. Is there anything you would like to add or ask on this topic? Is there anything that maybe caught your eye or in a corner of your mind? Did you have any comment on what we were telling about? I'm still taking a few more moments for questions, and then we're focusing fully on our participants in the class and going into the meditation, the Ascension meditation. So for the ones who are just here now, you can still join this class anytime, and you can watch it either live or in video. The good thing is we have 3 more webinars, including this one of today. So we have last minute discount, that's how we call it, when people maybe find out just now about it and they still want to join. So big part of it is in video, because we have done a few webinars, and you can still benefit from it, and you have a discount of 40%. So you can enjoy the last minute discount if you want, because you are literally joining last minute and the last part of it. We have downloaded fabulous light codes in the previous meditations, so we are now almost at the highest peak of these transmissions. Thank you so much for being on Facebook, and thank you for joining us. Big hugs and blessings. We are going in meditation now, and those of you on YouTube, don't go anywhere, because we're preparing for a deep dive. Big hugs. See you soon.